Hey everybody, it's Chainsaw Reacts. Today we are continuing the journey with Ben 10 Alien Force. I can't wait to dive into this episode. This is Season 2, Episode 8 of the show. Won't know the title until we get to the episode. Of course, you guys know that by now. Last week's episode dealt with Ben's parents, and I have still questions on how they approached it because it literally felt like a snap of a finger, where Ben's parents went from, you're using the Omnitrix, you're doing this, you're going out, you're lying to us, you're grounded, and then finally when Ben was able to actually talk instead of being cut off or being silenced and even more grounded than he already was before, because Ben was trying to still get out or whatever, and he was caught in everything as Echo and all that, and that was a funny moment. But when Ben was finally able to talk, saying, I gotta go save my friend Kevin, I gotta do this, I'll deal with the punishment later, and it's like all of a sudden when Ben was able to actually speak, his father was like, maybe we should listen to our son. And then they show up on that freighter, that ship, which is out in the ocean, by the way. How did they get on it? I don't know. And they're using, a gun that I think was given by Max to Ben's father, and he fires it and saves Ben as Humongosaur from, I think it's that bigger hybrid that was about to attack him again. And it's like, that was a quick turning point from like, Ben, you're grounded, to, okay, Ben, we understand, we'll help you. It's like, well, okay. I feel like they should have had more time with the episode, which I know they have a certain time limit. Maybe a two-parter would have been better, because we don't really see Ben's parents. So it would have been interesting to kind of see more of the dynamic of Ben's home life, because we just don't ever see it, and we never see them. So I really wish we could have delved into more of that, but time limit-wise, can't really happen. But like I said, maybe a two-parter would have fixed my issues with the pacing of this turning point. But I'm glad that they're on board. That's the main thing, right? They're on board. They understand that Ben has to go out there to save the day. He's saving the planet. He's potentially going to save, the galaxy or whatever. Who the fuck knows? So I think what Professor Paradox even mentioned, something like there's something greater or whatever. So who knows? But they're on board. That's the main thing. So I'm excited for this episode, guys. Let's jump into it now. Season 2, Episode 8 of Ben 10 Alien Force. Let's go.
My fellow knights, we have lately endured a grave defeat. Do we now abandon our sacred duty? No!
No!
I have built a starship.
What?
Containing dozens of alien work of a Galvan shapeshifter. Equal parts machine and beast. I'll catch a little blob for you. Beware, Sir Morton.
The noise it made.
Okay, ship. Show me a new trick.
A new trick? Oh my god.
How am I supposed to explain that?
Yeah, I don't know.
Are you ready to shop? Gift cards from Grandma.
Shop.
I am
Oh my
totally
god.
I'll drive you to the mall as promised, but I'm not hanging around and watching.
That's it.
That's okay.
Oh no. Oh no. That's kind of cool though, but yeah.
But he said he had homework to do.
Oh, he's definitely doing homework.
No, not you too.
Don't listen to him. Holy shit. And the crazy thing is, they're not actually the target. They don't even know it's ship.
Why is he shooting at us?
Take sign. Check ray. Ooh, okay.
Nice.
Come on.
Face shield.
Holy shit.
No.
He's okay.
Stay put.
Yeah.
I'll handle this.
Again with the car.
It's not the car, it's ship that's attached to the car. See ya. Are we gonna stop him? Come on. Well, that was close. Go after him. Go after him.
What happened? That flying jerk in a can fried my car.
And then he took my
ship.
pet.
Pet? That guy is so paying for a new paid job.
That's what he cares about.
About your car?
Why would the Forever Knights want to steal ship?
It's for a
Please.
big
It
plan.
can
Don't
turn
worry
into
about it.
anything it touches. Can you hurry it up?
Sure, you know how to fly.
Oh.
New paint job and new tires.
I'm
That takes a long time to do a new paint job, by the way.
Lancelot Lake Estates.
If
Very
a man's
obvious.
home is his castle,
I want to help, and you can't stop me.
Exactly. Stand up and say, no, I'm not going to take this crap. Oh, that ship trying to get out. Aww. Ship's adorable, by the way. Trying again. Oh, shit.
Julie, we aren't talking about a poodle from the local pound. You don't know what you're dealing with.
Well,
Yes, I do.
How about we try a more subtle approach for a change?
I mean, let's be sneaky about this. Oh. Oh, they were tricking him. That was smart. I'm like, what's going on here?
Are you okay? Look out!
Damn, Ben. Ooh. Oh, shit.
You're good at that.
Ooh. Nice.
You wanna wrap this up?
Good job.
You young people are so
Young purple.
Ship. Oh,
Oh,
is
shit.
this what you mean?
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. This is not good. Oh, shit. This is crazy. Damn. He's gonna kill some kids, alright?
Stay out of the way.
Fire! 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 Swamp fire! Let's go. There you go. Oh, of course I could douse fire.
Toast.
No, gotta figure out a way to get through the ship.
I have complete control.
Shep, stop. It's
Stop.
me, Julie.
Come on.
Remember what you were. Are.
It's fighting it. Ship's fighting it. Ship's fighting it.
How did you know that would work?
You're not the only one who's seen brain stealers from outer space.
Oh. Oh yeah, ship can turn back into the ship itself.
It's time we got rid of this sponge.
Not gonna
Even
happen.
If we all gotta go in the bargain.
Fucking rockets. Taste fire. Ooh. Uh-oh. Yeah, remember to get out of there. Yeah. Bye-bye. They're gonna bust out of the roof. She's loving it. Play catch. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, no. I really had a good time with this episode. I really enjoyed what they were doing here. And it's interesting that they tied in two storylines from Alien Force and kind of combined them into this episode, and two that I wouldn't expect ever to overlap in some way, but they found a way to continue these. So they continued the Forever Night storyline with the dragon, well, the dragon as they called it, that they were trying to slay or whatever, and they had locked away in a dungeon, in a castle, whatever, and it was actually an alien that was there to survey the planet and all that kind of stuff, and is a map maker. And of course Ben and Kevin and Gwen, like, they saved, you know, the dragon, the alien, and Ben prevented him because he was going to go back out and start attacking the Forever Knights and getting revenge, and he didn't care what would happen. I think he was going to kill all of them, like it was his whole goal. But Ben talked him out of it and said, you're a map maker, you're not a warrior, you're not a fighter, like, you need to go, okay? Go home. And so they tied in that storyline because we had this, I think they said his name and what he was, but he's basically just a scientist for the Forever Knights. But he had this whole plan of, okay, we're going to go to their homeworld. We're going to go find the dragon that we lost. Like, we got to go back. Like, we got to go in, find the dragon on its homeworld or whatever. We got to go find where he went off to. And here's this ship. And how do we operate this ship? Then they tie in Ship, basically the little dog, you know, creature or whatever, you know, like they introduced during Ben and Julie's date episode on the pier, during that like little carnival type thing on the pier, and they had Ship, you know, showing up, and it was like a little miniature upgrade, but the little dog version or whatever. And at first they were kind of playing it up as like, this is kind of a villain, and it kind of was, but ultimately Ship needed help, and then Ship stayed behind. And so they tied it in because the scientists from the Forever Knights needed Ship to operate and take over the actual ship that he made so that the Forever Knights can go and attack the homeworld or whatever, find the dragon. And so they tied all those together. Like, it's interesting that they tie in two storylines that I just didn't think would ever, like, in a million possibilities, like I would never guess that these storylines would cross over in some sort of way. but it was interesting. So apparently Julie has been visited by Ship from time to time, and the Ship always shows up and stays for a little bit, then leaves and shows new tricks. I love the little jump up and then the transform, and so Ship is turning into like a toaster with toast popping out, and then of course his final trick, he turns into a gigantic submarine that actually like puts a huge indent like deep into the ground of her yard and destroys the fence on, I think, one side or both sides or whatever, knocking down a tree. She's like, how am I going to explain this? I'm like, well, there's no way to explain it. So Julie and Gwen are going to go shopping, and Kevin's like, okay, I guess I'll drive you. I'm like, I feel bad for Kevin. He's like, do I really have to do this? But then again, Gwen and Julie don't seem like they have a car, so they need somebody to chaperone them and drive them to, well, not chaperone, but drive them, you know, being their driver to go to the mall to do a bunch of shopping, like gift cards, it's like girly things. Okay, whatever. So at least they're hanging out. They're spending some time together. That's cool, right? Ben lied, by the way. Ben's like, I got homework on a Saturday. He's watching some sort of crappy movie that Julie actually watched herself, because she's like, you're not the only one who saw that movie, because she was able to talk Ship out of being, you know, to being under the control of the Forever Knights, which was a cool little moment. It was nice to see that. But I think this would have been more impactful, personally, if Ship would have appeared maybe before this episode. Like of course, Ship appeared in season 1. But I'm saying if Ship would have appeared another time before this, like Ship was hanging out with Julie, like we saw another little thing where maybe not Ship didn't have a huge role, but maybe Ship just played a little bit of a part in an episode. So that would be more impactful, that Julie's connection to Ship, because she's like, well, he shows up every once in a while. Like, so they had to explain it to where she has this connection to Ship, because when they're attacked or whatever by that Forever Knight, that one that stood out, the one who actually was it, who showed his face, lifted up his little visor or whatever on his gear. He was the one who's like, I'll go get the thing. I'll go get the little bugger or whatever you called it. And he actually succeeded. He actually succeeded the first time attempting it. But it was Kevin, Gwen, and Julie. Ben, of course, wasn't there. Ben showed up after the fact. But they did pretty decent in terms of the fighting back and forth, but that Forever Knight had the upper hand and took Ship. And kept going after the car. I felt bad for Kevin. He loves that car, but it keeps getting destroyed and shit. And all the time that they had Ship, the Forever Knights, Kevin found the time to repaint the car. Changing a tire doesn't take that long, but repainting a car takes time, and for it to dry, that means they would have wasted hours to save Ship. Now, the funny moment leading up to this, which still, it took way too much time. Like, I think they really didn't understand the concept of time during, because when Ship was captured, at that point, at any moment, Ship could be transformed into be operating the ship that they made, the Forever Knights, the scientists made for the Forever Knights to go. So that ship could have been long gone. You know, Ship controlling the ship could have been long gone by the time they showed it, because of Kevin wanting to repaint the car. But the funny moment I'm going to get to now, sorry, I'm just getting off a tangent, sorry, is that he was like, can you hurry up? Like he's sitting in traffic, but he's actually on top of a flatbed. They're sitting in the car on a flatbed because the car is totaled and the tire was busted, so he couldn't drive anything. So that was a funny little moment. I'm like, that was a good little visual thing there and back and forth. That was good. So they find the scientist. Now the scientist's design is kind of cool. Like he has a scarred eye. Clearly he can't see out of that one eye. He has this gigantic scar. How do you get the scar? Didn't never explain it. I guess it really doesn't matter about the scar. But Ship, of course, we see Ship is transformed to that chip or whatever, and he's now red instead of green. And then Ship is pointing all the different like lasers and guns and all that kind of stuff, and rockets as well, at them when they show up and confront the scientist. Which thankfully Julie was reading the paper going, well, there's this new thing here on this estate. You see this thing? Like, it's a new thing, and I don't know what this is, but clearly they love medieval stuff, so this has to be. Like, well, it's a long shot. Is it, though? Because the Forever Knights love that medieval shit. Of course, they're going to be, like, staying in a medieval-looking castle or house or whatever. It makes the most sense. I think maybe Forever Knights need to change their approach to being less subtle with where they live, because that was pretty clear that that's where they were, but whatever. I like how Julie stood up and said, no, I'm not going to stay here. I'm not going to stay behind. No, I'm going. Ship is my pet. Ship is my friend. I care for Ship. I'm going, you know. It's like, hey, Julie, you have a right, you know. And that was a funny little moment when they go into the actual place itself, and there's like Forever Knights just standing there. It's like, are they going to reveal something, that these Forever Knights are actually not people, but they're like the suits are being controlled or something, because they're just standing still. I'm like, is there more going on here that I'm not understanding? and waiting for that reveal. And it turns out, no, they tricked them. They were just waiting for them to come in, and then here comes the bigger guy, the one who could show his head or whatever. He stood out amongst the other ones. He was bigger and had a different like suit. I think it was like a different color as well. But so they start attacking, and there's a lot of chaos going on in this room. And Julie actually grabs one of their weapons and is using it like it's kind of like tennis, just smacking him around and crap. Now, the moment where Kevin said, "Gwen, could you finish this up already?" and Gwen like captures all of them, slams them together, and then throws them against the wall down some stairs. I'm like, okay, Gwen is really fucking powerful. Now, they've already showed this, how Gwen is able to stop a lot of things with her shields and everything and how powerful she is. But that moment, she took out 5. I think it was 5. 4 regular Forever Knights, the 5th, the bigger guy that took Ship, grabbed them all together when they're all constricted and slammed them all together as a big ball and threw them against a wall and knocked them out for a little bit. That is pretty damn powerful. Now, Ben is the same thing when he said Humongous or any of the other aliens that are that powerful, but Gwen, I think she's getting stronger. I think she's getting more deadlier. So that was kind of a crazy moment, because normally that stuff wouldn't happen necessarily on the show like that. Like during like the episode with his name Connor, is that what his name was? I forget his name. Like the kid from the end of Ben 10, the regular series, and he showed up again and he was taken by the aliens and he was making alien tech and the shielding and all that kind of stuff. Maybe his name wasn't Connor. Anyways, you know what I'm talking about. Like during that, when they all had to combine, where Kevin was absorbing some sort of like certain metal, and Ben is Echo, and then Gwen using one of her like energy beams or whatever energy things to throw, and then shaking Kevin, and then when he's Echo, Ben's just screaming out, and it makes it even more of like an impact. That's a combo move, right? Working together, but Gwen by herself, very powerful, scary. So they had to knock her out when Ship was attacking or whatever at first, because if she would have been held on to that shield a little bit longer, she could have done some damage. But Julie made the point, do not fire at Ship. Don't fire at Ship. Because Kevin's like, fire at Ship, fire, like, go, go, go. And Julie's like, no, don't do it. And then she actually gets through to Ship. She actually's like, because he's locked in. Ship is locked in on Julie. And she's like, you are not a monster. You are more than that. You know, you're a good boy, Ship. And then he was able to break and beat it, which goes to show how powerful Ship, I think, is. Because who knows how powerful that implant, that thing was that he got stuck with to make him transform and to be under control by the Forever Knights. Well, who knows how powerful that was, and he was able to beat it. So that's a good thing. And Julie's like, well, and that's the point where Julie's like, I've seen that crappy movie too. I've seen it too. And it's kind of funny because I'm watching Alien Force right now. I'm also watching Scooby-Doo Mystery Incorporated, and Scooby-Doo Mystery Incorporated, Scooby and Shaggy watch horror movies, like ones that are crappy, sometimes during the show. So it's kind of funny how we had this in Ben 10 Alien Force, and also Scooby-Doo Mystery Incorporated does this as well. Now I know Ben 10 Alien Force doesn't like do this a lot, where they have a lot of, you know, horror movies that are kind of tying into the plot or whatever in terms of like their themes or whatever. Like this happened in terms of the movie. They both saw the movie, but Julie was able to actually use whatever tactic in the movie in this instance here for Ship. So Scooby-Doo Mystery Incorporated does that kind of thing too, where they, you know, have like these really crappy movies. So it's kind of funny how there's like a little parallel kind of there. But it was good. It was a good episode. I like how Ship was flying them around and going crazy. Julie's loving it. It just drops them all out. And then, like, fine, okay, I'll play catch. Because Ship is like basically like a dog, right? And so Ship turns to a gigantic ball and lands on Ben. And that was a good way to cut. I think that was a good little moment. It was fun. It was a fun episode for sure. I wasn't sure where we were going with this at first. I'm like, okay, we got Forever Knights. Oh, they're tying the Dragon storyline. Oh, we're bringing in Ship? What? It was it's an interesting little moment. Like, how are they what was the thought process? Okay, so we should continue the Forever Knights storyline with this particular, because I think the last time we saw Forever Knights was when we had, what's his name, Albedo, I think that was his name, who had the inferior, he said it was the better one, but it was the inferior Omnitrix. I was the original Omnitrix creator. They had Forever Knights a little bit in that, but he was just trying to find Ben 10. But, or Ben Tennyson, sorry, but it's Ben 10. But, let's continue the Forever Knights storyline, but also tie in Ship. Like, I would love to ask that question. How did you come up with that idea of combining those really, like, polar opposite storylines where there's no real true connection besides, of course, Ben, Gwen, and Kevin, and Julie in the mix? How do you find a way to, like, I would love to ask that question, because that's interesting. So, Hope you guys enjoyed the reaction. I had a good time with this episode. I really did. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I will talk to you guys soon. Peace out.